Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Lines Podcast, where we celebrate incredible women in and around sports. I'm your host, Atoya Burleson, and let's dive into the latest and greatest going on in the NFL. First up, it's time for Let's Talk About It, where we break down the latest headlines that you should know. Sunday was dominated by major divisional clashes and surprising upsets that really tighten the playoff races. So we don't really know what's going on, but we do know in the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers edged out the Baltimore Ravens. You know, this was a bounce back game a little bit for Lamar, but it wasn't enough because they ended up losing, but his fantasy points definitely went up this game. So congrats to him on that, but they did not get the W. But in the AFC East, the Dolphins continue their winning streak, and they beat the Jets 34-10, being a dominant running game. They piled up 239 yards, which was crazy. In the AFC South, the Jacksonville Jaguars rolled past the Colts, which everyone was shocked about, to take the lead in the AFC South. Meanwhile, the Houston Texans pulled off a shocker in Sunday Night Football and beat the Chiefs 20-10 at Arrowhead. And in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers squeaked out a victory over the Bears with a late score to move into first place in the division. And in the NFC West, there was dominance by the LA Rams, who delivered a blowout, crushing the Cardinals 45-17 and showcasing their high-powered offense led by Matthew Stafford. Okay, moving on to Make It Make Sense, where we tackle everyday curiosities and questions we all discuss behind closed doors. Like the question, who thought that putting Christmas tree lights on was a good idea? Well, I'm glad you asked. I did my research, and here's where it started. Did y'all know that in ancient roots, they lit bonfires and candles during the darkest parts of the year, like the winter solstice? So it started as a way to light bonfires and candles to bring hope and light as a magical symbol to ward off the gloom of long winter nights and celebrate the coming return of the sun. And then you fast forward to Christianity. Christians began putting lit candles on evergreen Christmas trees. The candles represented the light of the world, aka Jesus, and were a visual reminder of the Star of Bethlehem. But that caused some safety issues. Candles were a huge fire hazard, especially on dry pine Christmas trees. We know they get nice and dry towards the end of the Christmas holiday. So then Thomas Edison's friend / associate H. Johnson created the first string of electric Christmas lights and put them on his tree. After that, it was a hit. Everybody loved it. It was brilliant. It was safe. It was modern, a modern alternative to the candles they used to put on the tree. And it was new technology. So today we put up millions of lights everywhere, on trees, on houses, even on streets, but they didn't have that back then. It started with a way to bring hope and light. And now it just brings joy to the holiday and has become a tradition all across the world. It's warm, it's festive, the environment's bright, and everybody loves the holiday season when you see lights. All right, moving on to It's Debatable. That sparks conversation about whose team are you really on. So let's dive into this. We were talking about Christmas movies. And y'all know I love me some Christmas movies. So we're talking about which Christmas movies are the best. So I'm just going to give you guys these in no particular order, and y'all let me know which ones that you watch or used to watch or still watch. So we're going to start with Elf. You know, everybody knows the modern favorite Elf with Will Ferrell. That's up there. We also had on the list Home Alone, which is a iconic movie that I absolutely love and still watch every Christmas holiday. There's also Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas. We all love that. But there's two now. There's that one, which was like the animated one. And there's also The Grinch. So you have Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but you also have The Grinch. So y'all have to pick between those two. You can't keep both. Don't cheat. Pick between those two. You have the iconic A Christmas Story, which is nostalgia for a lot of people. You know, moments like the leg lamp and the tongue on the flagpole. Everybody remembers that. But I'm going to add in one more that people may not know about, but I watch. And I'm going to give a shout out to my friend because we both love this This movie is called The Best Man. They also have The Best Man Holiday. If y'all haven't seen it, you need to watch it. I absolutely love it. The Best Man Holiday is always at the top of my list. Has its moments and it's just so like emotional. But I would say top 2 for me would be The Best Man Holiday or The Best Man. And then also you have to go with Home Alone. It is iconic. And I know they have the one in New York, which is pretty good. But the first one, forget about it. Number 1 always. All right, y'all. I snuck that one in there. But tell me, which one did I miss? Tell me what is your favorite Christmas movie during the holiday? But until then, I'm going to introduce our next amazing guest of Inside Lines Podcast. And enjoy. Here you go. On the podcast today, we have a dynamic entrepreneur, community builder, and powerhouse of purpose who's lived multiple chapters in one lifetime. She began her career in tech and entertainment, working with global brands like BET, the Washington Commanders, Adobe, and much more, before becoming an award-winning sales leader in corporate America. Today, she wears many hats: mompreneur, NFL wife, and founder of Moments with Moguls. Please welcome to the show, Justina Pascal. How are you?
Good. Thank you.
Doesn't it feel good to hear yourself?
That intro, I'm like, oh, who's that girl? I want to know her.
Right? It's so amazing, all the things that you've done in such a small amount of time. And it just goes to show how amazing your personality is, you know, what your drive is like, and all that you can become if you just put your mind to it, girl. So let's get right into it and talk about the purpose of this episode. It is all about redefining success. And we talked about the boardrooms to ball games and then coming back to yourself. I want to get into that because I think oftentimes we're singular in how we look at life. But what you find out as you get older is life is very cyclical. So what's something that you want to talk about in the beginning? Where you thought in that space of singularity, okay, this is what I want to do and this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I think until I got till about the age 25, I realized that, you know, you can have a path set out. When I was growing up, it was like, okay, I want to be a lawyer. Then I decided, okay, I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be a nurse. And I was like, no, I don't want to be a nurse. I think I want to be Olivia Pope. And it was like always that one thing, right? Where back then Scandal was amazing. I was tuned in every week.
Shout out to Shonda Rhimes. Absolutely.
Yes. And Kerry Washington for that delivery because we all wanted to be her.
That fashion.
Yes. The fashion. That is what I saw my life being every day. Yes. The clothes, the fashion, the lifestyle, this outside of the scandal. But I saw myself in a very singularity role. I thought, you know, being a younger person, you know, I was taught, you know, go to college, get the career, build the dream out, and stick to that one thing and go hard. So when I got into school, I started realizing some of my mentors were very multifaceted. They did it all. And I'm like, wow, they have kids and they're doing it all. And here I am, like this young college student, like, teach me your ways, Grandmaster. Yeah. So I think growing in a space where I could accept that, I like sports, I like entertainment, I like a little bit of business, I'm funny, I like to go out, like embracing those things about myself allowed me to really step into that role and, you know, pursue all the passions. So that's how I got here.
I love that. And I love that you recognize really quickly that you can enjoy and like and be a part of multiple things. You can have your hands in many things. A lot of people often don't think that. And you're starting to see people redefine that space of, okay, I can do multiple things. I don't have to pick one. What is one of your, just something in your life that you recently, that you are so excited about that really kind of basically opened up your eyes to a different lifestyle in a different way that you hadn't seen before?
I think coming into this world, when I met my husband, we were very separate. Like he did what he did for work. I did what I did for work. And it wasn't until we got engaged and I got pregnant where I was completely isolated from all of my normal life. I'm in the middle of Arizona. I'm by myself. I have him as my support system, but I was alone. And I think for me, it gave me time for the first time ever to have that solitude, have that space, and actually figure out how I was going to build this whole new life from the ground up. So I think what was really, really exciting to me is I came out to Arizona and I thought, oh, we'll be here for a couple years. I'll leave. I don't know if I'll like it. Right. And then I slowly started building community and connecting with other women in this space, but also outside of the space. And I'm like, there's purpose here. Like there's something here that I feel like God is continuously calling me to lean into. But what is it? And I realized very quickly, me inserting myself into those spaces, I was naturally just connecting the worlds. Right. And girls were hanging out outside of me. And I'm like, yay, you all are friends. You have a friend now, right? So I was building like this mini community, and they were off branches outside of my relationships that I had created. And so I decided to start a little social club, I guess you would say. Like I hosted my first event, Hot Girls Spin, and that connected. Thank you. That connected the girls from the pro sports world to women entrepreneurs outside of the sports world. And a lot of us have a lot of commonalities, a lot of similarities. A lot of us are moms. A lot of us are, entrepreneurs in our own right. So I figured, why not help build community? So that was one of the things recently that I was like, wow, I made a little mini impact.
Right. Absolutely. And I think there's something that you said there. You said, you had to sit in silence a little bit to figure that out, like what you wanted to do. Yeah. And then you realize like, okay, I've had enough silence. This is what I want to do. And you just put your head down and did it. That's amazing. And I think that women naturally, we gravitate to community. We gravitate to other women, and we want that. Some of us naturally find it, or we build it. And some of us just want somebody else. Girl, please build it for me because I'm going to come. I just don't have time. I don't know how to do it, but you do it for me. And it sounds like for you, you are the person that builds it. You think of it and you're like, okay, I can do this. And so when you put together Hot Girl Spin, was this something that you started doing on your own that you loved doing? And then you thought like, or were you just like, no, this is just something new. I'm going to do it all at once.
So I said, you know what? This is a new offering. I found this amazing group. Shout out to Clip Cycle because they've only been in business for 3 months. And I saw them on TikTok. It's so crazy, the power of social media. I saw them and their energy, and it was infectious. And I started just sending it out to certain girls like in the area. And I'm like, we got to try this. We got to go there. They're like, I'd never been spinning before. The whole consensus was I had never done this before. And I'm like, perfect. That would be the perfect icebreaker to get everyone in the room, something that we've never done that we've never done before. Gosh, my words. And then, get everybody together, meeting for the first time. Why not? So like, let's meet for the first time. Let's try something for the first time. And it was amazing. The girls absolutely loved it. Like that's
so dope.
They all want to go back. They're all signing up. They're all meeting outside to go to other events. I just love it.
So, okay, here's my question to you, because we've heard of these amazing things that you've done, and it came from somewhere. When you were younger, would you equate yourself to be an extrovert? Were you, more of an introvert and then became more extroverted? How would you look back at your childhood and talk about little Justina?
Little Justina was a ball of confidence and energy. I was fearless. But I was an introverted extrovert. When it came to my peers, I was so introverted because I never really felt like I fit in. Even though, I was an honor roll student and I had all these different accolades, I just kind of felt like I don't have like that group of people. I don't have anyone that really understands me outside of my best friends. It was 2 best friends I had growing up, and they were my world because we did everything together. It's like I could just be me versus, what you're trying to be when you're young. So I was introverted socially, but I always knew I wanted to do amazing things. I always knew I wanted to shoot for the stars. I just had to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I love that you were just fearless. I think that you have to have a bit of that fearlessness to just step out on faith and just do things. There's something about that just lives deep inside of you. When you think about, not only what you've done with this amazing event called Hot Girl Spin, but you also created something called Moments with Moguls.
Yeah.
And when you think about that and look back to when you were young, Justina, how do those correlate to you? And talk about what Moments with Moguls is.
Yeah. So I would say growing up, I always looked to the moguls. Like I always read, I was obsessed with the biographies, the stories. You had the MTV cribs, like how they lived, what their routine was. I think for me, that was really big. Like if I want to be successful, who are the successful people? What are they doing? What does their life look like? What are the challenges they overcame? And how can I overcome my challenges and kind of take some of that? So thinking about that now, full circle, I created Moments with Moguls because I want to get people in the room with either mentors or like-minded individuals so that we can sharpen that iron. That saying, iron sharpens iron. And I think with women and specifically, we go through the most. I mean, we're balancing so much: motherhood, careers, relationships, passion projects, all the things, plus self-care. And I think, a community like Moments with Moguls will allow women and other, like-minded individuals to come together and feel like they're seen, feel like they're heard, know that it's an authentic place where we're not comparing accolades, we're championing, we're celebrating one another.
I think about something you said when you were younger, you didn't often feel seen by everyone. Yeah. And so the fact that you've come full circle and decided to create something so everyone feels seen it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. So I don't know if you've connected that, but that's great to a lot of people live in their traumas and maybe stay there, but you're like, nah, I'm gonna create something from this. Yeah. So love that you decided to do that. And you're right. I feel like women, the more of us that get in the room together, the more life is created right there in that room. Because when we connect, I feel like women naturally just breathe life into one another, into our kids, to our families, to everything. So when you get us all in one room, something amazing is going to happen. So talk about when you were younger, because you were, it's a family of 6 of y'all, right?
Yeah. Family of 6.
So family is 6. So there's a lot of trying to be seen there, with a lot of siblings. And you said that you were introvert, extrovert. What did you live for? What was the things that you enjoyed doing when you were younger?
Oh, gosh. Surprisingly, I love to perform, which is completely different for myself now. Now I'm hiding in the background.
Wait. Now, when you say perform, I need details, ma'am.
Perform. So if they had a family talent show, I was first in line signing up at the family reunion. I wanted to perform for everyone. Christmas holidays, Christmas Eve, I'm performing in front of everyone. I was in the choir. I was in the drama club. I was a debater. So anything where I could just get out there and just try something new, I was doing it.
I love that. I was the same way. I loved, we would have the porch that would be our stage, or to your point, debating no, we're going to go back and forth because it's, it's just those moments you live for. And there's a freedom in that. There's something you said, I don't do it as much anymore. Do you feel like part of that freedom as you got older kind of got, covered up in different spaces for you?
Yes, I would definitely say with even social media, all the eyes and the opinions. Before, everyone's opinion was in their head. Or if they were bold, they would say how they felt about like whether you did a horrible job or a good job. But for the most part, people were pleasant back in the early 2000s. I won't date myself too much. But then we transitioned, and it's like, wow, I took a picture. I was really happy about that picture. And it's like, oh, your nose, something's wrong with this. That energy that entered, I think, when social media kind of had me feeling like, you know what? I'm really, really smart. I can play the background. I can help those who are really, really unapologetically themselves be great. But I'm going to play the background for a while. So I'm just now coming back to stuff. Yes, I was going to say, I'm slowly getting back to the point where I feel, confident. I'm not performing. It's my life. And it's who I am. And I just have confidence in that.
I love that. And I often think about life. There's so many different challenges that we go through. And you talked about this, and I remember this as well. You talked about, being, going to work and having this sense of like, accomplishment and feeling good about who you are and, doing the dang thing. And then you pivot into motherhood and talk about what that curveball felt like for you and how you navigated it.
Yeah. Ooh. Motherhood was a shocker to me because it wasn't planned. I love my baby. So it was semi-planned, but it wasn't planned. So for me, I kept asking God to give me something larger than myself. And I just felt stagnant in corporate America. I felt like, the sales achievement awards, the leadership awards, they're good, but I want something more. And I remember I kept asking and praying for that. And then I found out I was pregnant. And I just remember being so excited, like, okay, I'm going to have this baby and this new life and it's going to be great. And I know we're moving to Arizona and I know I don't know anyone there, but I think I can do this. And then I think about 2 or 3 months into motherhood, that's when it hit me. The routine is the same almost every day. You're losing sleep. You're stretched so thin because the time that you thought you had to do things in balance, you don't really have with the kid. So for me, it then started to make me question myself. Like, am I being like this mom that I have in my mind of like this super mom where I'm killing everything. I'm making breakfast for my man before he goes to work. I'm feeding the baby. We're in our cute little outfits. Like I thought life was going to be very easy. And then I'm like, I'm off of no sleep. I haven't got any sleep in the past 48 hours. Like, I think I'm going to be a crazy person. And this man gets to go out here and have fun and train and run around with his friends. Like, what is wrong? What is wrong with this life?
Yes.
And what I had to really sit back and realize, like, in the stillest moments and the calmest moments, me being a mother and me making sure that this child stays alive and is healthy and developing, that is the biggest role that I could have on this earth. Like, he will outlive me. He will be my legacy. So no one will remember sales achievement leader, president club from whatever. They're going to remember this individual, and how well I raise him will determine whether or not they think I did a good job. So, it was a period of identity realignment, identity crisis. And then I started to kind of see the purpose of it all. And I'm like, you know what? It's a season. It's a moment. And now I see him being 2 years old, running around, about to go to school. It's only a brief moment, but it's a moment that until you become a mother, you will never understand. I feel like.
Facts. You will never understand. It is very selfless. And I think for me, that was the biggest difference. When you talk about your job and you talk about the different things that you do there, you often get rewarded for it. Like, good job, Justina, you did, people, praise. When you become a mom, it's just you and that baby, and they're not thanking you. Nobody's thanking you.
No.
It's all selfless. It's sacrificial. And you have to thank yourself or find something within you to love on yourself. That's what I recognize. It all came from within, because I realized all of that outward praise was no longer there. And I was stuck with, okay, Atoya, you have to be that for you. You have to see the good in this, which is so different.
It is. It is. It is, because when you're receiving that external validation, you don't even you're excited for yourself and you're clapping for you, right? Mm-hmm. But it's kind of like subconscious, second nature.
Yes.
When you're in this role, it's like, oh no, we both have a bath and we're both clothed. Good job. Like you did that. Like you made dinner tonight and everyone's fed and everyone's happy. Good job, So it also allowed me to be able to celebrate my smaller wins and give myself more grace, because I was always like major pain, making sure I am hitting all these deadlines.
Yes.
And with a baby, you're going to be late. It's going to take, some things are going to take the back burner, and it's okay for a little while.
Yes, it really is. And once your perspective shifts and you recognize what you're building and what you're doing, I realized that was my purpose. My purpose was my babies in that time. And that's okay. It's not, I think in our minds, we think it's forever, and it's not.
Yeah.
Right?
It won't be.
I mean, when you in it, girl,
long.
It feels like
long. Yes. Yes. And then you look back and you're like, oh, wow, it wasn't that long. But girl, you strong. You did it.
Exactly. So when you, I hope all moms hear that and they recognize that this too shall pass.
Absolutely.
All the hard days and nights will pass, and just and try to find a way to enjoy it. You are building, you went from building bones in your body, creating a baby, to then taking care of that baby outside of your body. I mean, that's a blessing. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's supernatural, and we don't get enough praise and enough credit.
Yes. Speaking of praise and enough credit, we got to talk about all that you did, because I gave you the accolades. I told everybody the accolades in the beginning, but let's rewind a little bit and talk about, from college to now, to then being in the workforce of, working and being invited to the White House, working for BET. You've done some amazing things, the NBA, the NFL, all of these amazing things that you've done. Like, take a pause and look back and talk about how it all came to be, and just lean into those moments real quick for me.
Yeah. Starting off, so I went to the illustrious Howard University in DC. So HU, if anyone knows. Yes, So it was hard being on that yard and seeing so many beautiful Black faces and them chasing their dreams. So for me, I felt like coming from, Hampton Roads, small city, small town. I'm like, I have to get everything I can out of this big city. For one, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to afford this tuition. Let's be real.
Yep.
My dad was, the only provider. So for him, it took a lot for him to put me there. So that means for me, it meant I can't play around. I can't go to every house party. Like, I need to be locked in. So after my freshman year, when I got, pretty much accoladed with everything, I decided, okay, what is it that you want to do? And what is it that you want to get out? And we don't have to know the right answer. We just have to put some feelers out there. So I kind of put too many fillers out there. And my sophomore year, I got the internship with the Washington Wizards. So that was really, really big. That turned into a part-time role outside of that internship. So from 2014 till about late 2016, 2017, I was behind the cameras leading production and sponsorship at the Washington Wizards. And that was really, really fun. And I thought, okay, let me stay on the sports track. I like production. I like sports. So I was able to also get another internship with the Washington Redskins at the time. So I'm working these dual roles. I'm there every other day with basketball, and I'm there on Sundays for the games. And it was great. I loved it. But I said, okay, if I'm thinking about success, long term and what my socioeconomic situation looks like, I got to keep putting the feelers out there. I'm feeling good about sports and entertainment, but let me keep putting some feelers out there. So I took a part-time with BET, and I was doing their, BET Honors Awards, their BET Hip Hop Awards in production. So I'm still on this production path. I like it. I'm interacting with people. I get to be behind the scenes, but it's still part of the action. So I was loving it. And then an opportunity came by. One of my colleagues said, hey, we're bringing some young, bright stars to the White House to, see the president off. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll be there. Absolutely. No matter what. I absolutely. So the power of connections even back then was real because people saw how hungry and how driven I was. And they were like, let's go. And that was back in the day when you couldn't take pictures or videos in the White House. Like that's when I literally got to see President Obama walk through, the courtyard of the White House and what that meant as, a young Black woman that really came from humble beginnings to work and grind so hard and then to get in the White House and see this man who made history happen. I was like, if I have the same 24 hours, I can't sleep. I need to keep going. I need to keep grinding. Like it was so inspirational. And from that point, that was all in 1 year, mind you, sophomore year, heading into junior year. So then in my junior year, I was severely overweight, depressed. I was very anxious about what's next. And I realized I had to take a break. I had to take a pause. And I had to really, really think strategically. Working in production, working in sports, oftentimes you're the first one there. You're the last one to leave. What did that look like? What did that look like long term? And it's funny how life recircles. It circles itself because in my life now, you're there pre-game, watching them warm up. You're there after everyone leaves, interviews, right? So funny how God prepared me for that in that moment. But at that time, I decided, you know what? I need to make some more money. Living in DC is very costly. I can't work 2 and 3 jobs to live. So that's when I decided to do an internship with pharma. I was working for Eli Lilly at the time. They gave me a generous, beautiful 6-figure offer when I graduated college. So that's where I first transitioned and entered into sales. And I learned from some of the sharpest, smartest individuals. I mean, you're challenging doctors every day. You're challenging them to think about their patients in a different way. So that was kind of my start to life in corporate America. I knew I had to pivot from production. I knew I couldn't handle the hours. And I also wanted to, make a living because I was supporting myself in DC. Yeah. So I had to make a change, and it was a different one because everyone knew me to be the productions girl, the sports and entertainment girly. And I had to pivot fast and pivot good because I knew I had that 6 figures on the line. Right. And they trained me well. They got me equipped and I felt confident, but it was draining and it was also sad, and I'm a natural empath. So hearing doctors talk about patients that they've lost or patients that, are in a situation where their diabetes is overtaking their body and they have to remove limbs and things. For me, it was just too daunting. It was hard to live that reality every day with them. It was very, very, very heavy. And all days weren't heavy, but you have those moments where you think about it on the way home. So I decided, okay, I like to help people. I think that's the consensus of it. I like to help people. I like to be out and I like to connect. And I came across a sales academy with Adobe. And I said, well, I have sales experience. I could sell to a doctor in under a minute and see results. Maybe I can go into tech and solve real world problems. And I have a little bit more time to do it. Right. So I made that pivot, made that transition. And that's where I feel like my corporate legacy, my corporate strength, all of my knowledge came from when I made that pivot into that role, because now I'm not talking to doctors. I'm not talking about patients. I'm helping Fortune 500 companies solve real business problems. So it excited me. It ignited a fire. And I did that for 5 years before I had my son. So, connecting brands with other brands and resources and solving problems that fueled me. So I think that's where now that entrepreneurship transitions now that I'm
because you've done all of the things. You understand the business side, you understand the sales side, you understand the marketing side, the production side. Like you literally hit all of these parts where you can do it on your own, because often, like even I'm thinking about myself in business, there was these pieces that I'm still learning, as I, go on. And so the fact that you had all of that, that's the beauty in being, an entrepreneur. You could put it all together, girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Everything has been in alignment for this moment.
So are you feeling like, as a mother now, do you feel like you're coming out of kind of the motherhood, like it's lifting and you're starting to see the light and getting out there and becoming more of yourself again? Yeah,
I would say that when I was able to really get through postpartum and losing the weight and coming back to, my senses, my hormones were rebalanced. Now I would definitely say I feel like I can do both. I actually am very confident now as a mom. Like I know what my baby needs when he needs it. He's on his schedule. He's on his routine, so it gives me back those little moments to pour into me. And I just, it feels better when you're balanced. I don't know.
Did you struggle with that at all? I know a lot of women talk about the struggle of being balanced and going through postpartum depression and trying to really find yourself again. There's like this fog. How was it for you?
I think it was a little rough for me because I came from DC, the DC area where I had all my friends, all my family, there to love on me. I could go to someone's house if I was overwhelmed. We could just, cook out in the backyard. It was no issue. And, moving out here, I didn't really have that community at first. So it's just me and the baby, every day. And if I wanted to have a moment to myself, I had to wait until, my husband came home from work, or we could finally, find someone that we trust to watch the baby for a couple hours. So it was tough because I couldn't get my hair done, my nails done. And I know it sounds so superficial. I know that sounds so
self-care. That is self-care,
but that's
too.
Self-care. It's self-care.
Right? Like we like to look at ourselves and feel good. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. So it was tough, but we got through it.
You got through it. That's beautiful. I think a lot of women, we don't talk about it as often as we should, and just really share that, everyone wants to show that like, oh yeah, it's perfect. Everything's perfect. The baby's perfect. I'm perfect. But it's like, no, let's talk about the rough times, because then when someone else goes through it where it's not perfect, they feel like they can reach out and talk to someone else. Yeah. And it makes it more normal. You're normalizing it. You're normalizing the hard times. You're normalizing, I don't feel so good. My friend went through it as well, and she struggled. She was like, I don't know who I am anymore. I don't know what's going on. And so just normalizing those conversations makes it easier for all of us. It really does.
Oh, absolutely. I love the content where the moms are like in their realness and they're like, I got a baby on my boob. I got a pot in my hand. I'm trying to like mop the floors with my foot. Like those are the real. When I see the super cutesy kids all prim and proper and their hair is not missing a strand out of place, I'm like, oh, you had about 5 people helping you film that content.
That part.
You had about 6 helpers helping you.
We all know that's not you because someone had to set that camera up while you was over. Like, it's not real. But what you're talking about, the woman who's doing 50, 11 things and is tired and is exhausted and is still trying to find themselves as they sift through the fog, that is real and so normal. Yeah. And it's a part of it. And as long as we have each other to keep reminding us of who we are and pulling us up and saying, come on, girl, we're going out. Come on, we're going to get our hair done or we're going to go get our nails done. Like, that's real sisterhood.
Yes.
It's everything.
Yes. I have one good sister out here. We were pregnant at the same time. Babies are literally 4 weeks apart. We met while being pregnant, and just having that one person, right, where you could say, hey, motherhood is not so good today. And they're like, I get it. Like, yeah, it sucks for me today too. And no judgment. It's like no judgment, all real. I know you love your baby. And two things can be true in one time.
Sometimes I'm sick of these kids.
So and it's that's just what it is. But I'm going to love them and I'll make sure they got everything they need.
Yes. And that's when you're like, yeah, I need a timeout. I need to go do something for me. Like it just reminds you of, I feel like naturally as women, we pour so much into our families, right? Yeah. Into our significant others, into our kids. Like you said, into your friend, everyone else, you're pouring. And oftentimes we forget to pour into ourselves. Yeah. So it does deplete you. And sometimes it does take that girlfriend to call you and be like, hey girl, what you doing? You want to go here real quick? Like, and you feel so replenished. You're like, oh my gosh, I needed that. That was everything,
Yes.
It makes a big difference for sure.
Especially in our world, right? Because we have, men, that came from all the support and all, they got the team and they have all the staff and they can, put clothes on the ground and someone's right behind them to pick it up and all those things, right? And I think a lot of times they still keep that mindset when they come home. And then it's like, I'm a wife, I'm a mom, so I'm going to do the things for my family. But it could be a bit draining when you're going through all of those emotional heavy moments. Yeah. And then you still got to show up and you got to be there on Sunday at 12 o'clock before that game starts. Or you got to get the kids ready and get all of them huddled through in the car, on the road, meltdowns on the road. And you still got to come there and make sure they all smiling so daddy can get that picture on the field.
Yes.
No one talks about that strength. No one talks about that strength.
Listen, but it's a thing. It is a thing. And I'm glad that you talk about that, because people, they see the highlight reel. They don't see all the stress that came along that journey just to get to that one highlight reel.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I appreciate you talking about that and just helping people to understand that, we are normal. We do have the meltdowns and the drama just like everyone else. And just like everyone else, it's just like when you get that one family picture, everyone's smiling. You got about 100 other ones where somebody's doing something they weren't supposed to do. Yes. But you got that one.
But you got the one. And that one going on there and it's going to get some likes and you're going to be happy about yourself because you got it.
Amen. Amen. Okay. So I have some fun questions for you.
Yeah.
What would you say... What is your greatest strength?
My greatest strength. I would say I have intuitive leadership. And I say that because I have a connection with God, I'm sure like everyone else, but I really don't move unless it feels right, unless I've prayed on it, meditated on it. And I think for me, it allows me to continuously check in with the one who created us to see if I'm along the path that he wants me to be on. And I would say it's my greatest strength because he's given me visions and thoughts and clarity that I've executed that I wouldn't even have imagined executing it. Like, I don't even know how I got it done. Like, even when you talk about the spin, the Hot Girl Spin event, that was something that he gave to me in the middle of the night. And I'm like, okay, how do I do it? Who's going to connect? Like, I'm trying to figure it all out. And he's like, just do it. Just put it out there, design the Canva, do all the things. I'm going to give you the people. And one by one, week over week, I found those people. Like, those people just gravitated to me. And I'm getting chills right now thinking about it, because it's like, I don't do anything. Like, if none of this, even all of my accolades, none of this was through strategy and like a long thought process. It was like, okay, God, you gave it to me. I'm gonna go do it.
That divine intervention is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, you're 100% right. Like, God, when he speaks to you, if you allow him to, if you just take a moment and allow him to speak to you, he tells you everything you need to hear. And to your point, you're not going to know everything, but just let him work sometime. He's like, this is my idea. Remember, let me work for you too. Chill out.
Take the step. You doing too much. He'll tell you, oh gosh. So many moments. He was like, no, you're doing too much. Let's reel this back in. That's not what I wanted.
I love that. What would you say to someone who is kind of in the space where you are, where, you know, they're in the momhood, but they're trying to transition over into finding their purpose and doing something for themselves? What would you say to them?
I would say check your capacity. Check your capacity. Do a life audit. Where can you find time back? Where are you drained? What fills you? What drives you? What gets you just going no matter what? And pour into that. I think before I got through the fog, I just filled my time up when I could with things that really brought me joy. So whether that was, going to a Pilates class, or that was sitting by a body of water, because that's something that, just calms me. Going, getting drinks with the girls. I think just naturally putting yourself in places where you're celebrated, you're loved, or you're fulfilled. I think that takes off all the pressure of, I have to do this, and I need to be this person, and I have to do this for my family. And it just gives you into more of where you're living and you're enjoying and you're experiencing your life, and it'll come. It'll come. You'll so meet someone, that ideal pop, because you can't create in a space where your heart and your mind is busy and it's hurting. You just can't.
So true.
So you got to heal within, and then start to go out and have some fun.
That's beautiful. Well said. Okay, so I always ask, because this is one of the questions that a lot of people always say, where did you meet your significant other?
Oh, yes. I'm wondering, do I want the political correct version or the...
The girlfriend version, girl.
The girlfriend version. So the girlfriend version, we met at 21.
Okay.
I was working in sports, pivoting into pharma, and here comes this cute chocolate drop rolling up on me at this lounge, famous lounge in DC. I will not say names. I will not endorse this place, but we loved it back in the day. And he walked up on me and he told me what he did. And, I told him, politely, we could be friends. I don't want that type of energy. I see what the guys be doing. I see the lifestyle. Very cute. Not very mindful. So, so I was like, okay, you do your thing. You're new in the league. I'm doing my career. Like, let's just be friends and see where it goes. I lost contact with him for about 4 or 5 years, but we would see each other naturally, just passing. I would be at All-Star. He would be at All-Star. I would be in Vegas randomly for Memorial Day weekend. We're in the same place at the same time, like kind of weird. Like, it got to the point where I'm like, is this dude like following me? Like, do he got the inside drop on where I'm going to be? Because this is getting kind of crazy. But I told myself, I said, if I ever run into him again, because I didn't have his number, social media, nothing, like we completely distanced ourselves. I said, if I run into him again, I'm going to say something. I'm going to get his information. COVID happened. We all thought that was going to be the end of the world. So I'm thinking, well, that's my chance. I ain't ran into this man in about two years. I don't know. And I'm at a friend's barbecue July 4th. And I just remember seeing him walk past, but his whole appearance had changed. He's buff now. He has dreads. Like, I am like, who is this?
You're like,
man? Is that him? So he done changed his identity now to come and find me? I'm like, wait a minute. Like,
hilarious.
Hold on. So I'm like, what is going on? So I tapped him. We ended up talking that night. I was the DJ at the party because the DJ had left. So It was like a whole thing. We were vibing on music. And from that moment until now, we have not left each other's side. Like, it was after that, I was like, I'm taking this one. Gotta bring him home with me.
You're like, okay, I got enough signs.
I got enough signs. He's a good man. Savannah. So we went ahead.
Man, Savannah. That's beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's amazing.
Of course.
And you were able to not only marry the man of your dreams, but didn't you guys go to a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Oh my goodness. That was... So it was the iconic Rihanna Super Bowl. I'm just going to say that because that moment for me, outside of seeing him chase his dream, of course, like I loved him in his glory. Seeing Rihanna perform. And I told him that year, I said, babe, you're going to the Super Bowl because I'm going to see Rihanna in concert. I've never seen her in concert. You're going to make that happen for me. And those Eagles made it happen that year.
Sure did.
And it was amazing. The love, the energy. Yeah. I think everyone dreams about that moment, right? And it didn't end in a win, but just to see how far he could go and seeing him from when he was first drafted, practice squad, meeting him out to being in that moment. I just love that for him. I just loved it.
Yes. That was one of my favorite Super Bowls as well. I absolutely loved it. One of my dear friends I brought with me because she's a diehard Eagles fan, like diehard. She was so heartbroken. But we went last year as well when they won. So she's like, yeah. So she's like, it's bittersweet. It's bittersweet. But yes, that Rihanna, she killed it. And then she announced, her another pregnancy.
Yes.
And just, she's one of those, if you think about like what we're talking about, Justina, you think about her, think about all she's done from like her iconic music career to then pivoting into Fenty.
Yes.
And all that she's done there to meeting the love of her life. They now have 3 kids.
Yes.
Like, she is a great example of a woman that, we can do it all. Like, we can do it all. And we don't have to only stay in a singular moment. So, talk about a great halftime Super Bowl show to be at. Rihanna all the way.
And Rihanna jinxed all of us because that year, 10 of us from the Eagles got pregnant.
No way. 10?
10 of us.
Girl.
I mean, back to back to back. I got pregnant very shortly after. Oh gosh. They have a whole football alumni baby community that they don't even know about.
Y'all need to do a Team Rihanna and just have all the women under there that got pregnant. That is so dope. I love that. I did not know that. Yes. Wow. You got 10 Super Bowl babies out here.
She inspired us.
Okay, I'm going to get into this 2-minute drill with you. And I always do this because it's just a fun way for everyone listening to get to know you. And if they want to ask questions, they can do that after the fact. So let's get into the 2-minute drill. I'm going to set my timer. And timer starts now. Okay. Are you a brunch girl or a happy hour girl?
Oh, I'm a happy hour girl.
Okay. Snow day or beach day?
Oh, I'm going beach day.
Beach day all day. Yeah. Spotify playlist or live DJ?
Ooh, live DJ.
Well, you did say you was a DJ, so I was hoping you're going to say live DJ. Early bird or night owl?
I am a night owl.
You are? Okay, I love it. What is something that you would say to someone who is trying to figure out, you have to say it in 5 words or less. Okay. They're trying to figure out what to do in the next chapter of life.
just breathe and pray.
I like that. Just breathe and pray. There you go. Okay. Do you like sweets or salties?
I'm a salties.
So salties. Do you love a game night or are you more of a movie marathon person?
Oh, I love a good game night.
Okay. I know, me too. The competitive person it just comes out. If you could say anything to your younger self, what would it be?
Don't second guess yourself. You got everything you need inside of you. It'll all work out. Good.
And then what would you say? What do you wish you knew back then that you know now, being a mother?
That you're not going to have it all figured out. There's not enough that could prepare you for the moment. But the beauty of the wisdom with motherhood, it comes from mistakes, failures, all the good stories. That's where it comes from.
All the good stories. Amen to that. And what projects or initiatives do you have coming up that you'd like to share?
Yeah, well, I am continuously doing, Hot Girl Spin events, and we're going to pivot a little bit more in the 2026 year with Moments with Moguls. So I'll be having a few more events coming up.
I love it. And if listeners want to get a hold of you, how do they connect with you?
Follow me on TikTok and Instagram at I am Miss Mogul, or you can send me an email. Email is in the bio.
Okay, we'll add it in the show notes. You are amazing. Thank you so much for gracing the podcast. You killed it.
Thank you for having me. I've been waiting for this for so long.
It's been so fun to get to know you. Just a great personality. Y'all follow her, go support her, pull up. This is what sisterhood is all about. And it's been a blessing to have you on. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for the opportunity. I love you and love your mission and love everything that you're doing.
Okay, well, that wraps up another exciting episode of Inside Lines Podcast. I'm your host, Atoya Burleson. Thank you for joining me in celebrating powerful women in and around sports. Your support really helps us to amplify women's voices in sports. So please remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Inside Lines Podcast, or check us out on the web, InsideLinesPodcast.com. I love to hear your thoughts on today's conversation. But until next time, keep the conversation going, keep celebrating women, and here's to breaking barriers, building community, and being a voice in a world that needs you. Thanks for listening.